Or I would sit in an empty house with cookies, put my face on my yard signs, imagining that someone would say, "That's the most handsome realtor I've ever seen." If we're utilizing strategies and tactics that was working between 2020 and 2021, you're creating a problem for yourself. If you are waiting for people to show up, that is a weight loss program. The volumes dropped 30%. The cost of money's doubled. Interest rates are 7.3%. They were 3% before. An $1,800 a month payment is now $3,600 a month. Is you posting on Instagram like this gonna change that? No. When times get tough, only the skilled get paid. Now we are in a skilled-based environment. Whoever's the most skilled is gonna get the business. Because I'm curious, with less listings, are you competing more? What do you think's gonna do it? When I ask people, I'm like, what's your competitive advantage? They're like, I treat my clients right. Everybody does that. Like, oh, I put my clients first. If you don't have a competitive advantage, don't compete. So as the marketplace shifts and changes, we need the right mindset, the right skills, and the right approach. So that way you can continue to get your unfair share. Who besides me is interested in their unfair share? Because check this out, competition's good for who? The consumer. It is not good for me. I do not want to compete, I want to dominate. Now, how do I know that this is true? I started selling real estate in 2006. I made $13,000 my first year. Not something people would pay you to come tell you how they did that. How many people in this room have a real estate license? Raise your hands. We can all perform the same service, correct? Yes. Do we all make the same amount of money?
No.
Why?
Everyone is different.
Nope. Some people know how to sell the service better than others. The average real estate agent, if they go on 100 listings, they only take 20 of them. When I'm going on listings, 85% of the time I take a listing. I'll make $800,000, average agent makes $47,000. What's the difference? Money's clearly different, but what's leading to the money? Skills. A lot of you guys lead from a place of authority, which is really lame. You're like, I don't know if you know, but I sold a home in your neighborhood, right? And I'm the queen of the falls. Did you know that? Who is that focused on, by the way?
You.
And where does it come from? Insecurity. You're trying to prove yourself worthy. And it repels people, it pushes them away. Okay? Instead, hey, my job's to help you. It's never to talk you into doing anything. I guess I'm curious, you live in a lovely neighborhood, I don't want to tell you that, great school district. Was there any particular reason you were even considering selling? And then what are they gonna do? And who is that about? Yeah, and I'm wondering, because again, like I'm not here to twist your arm at all. Is it an option for you to not sell the home and still move, like maybe rent it out? I'm wondering, if you were still here 6 months from now and the home wasn't sold, what would that do for you and your family? Like, would that be an issue? I've only spoken to you. You seem to be really excited about selling. I'm noticing there's somebody else on title. How do they feel about it? Anybody besides me ever got really excited, ran on an appointment, talked to the wife, she's pumped, sit down, the husband's like this? Whose fault was that? Because I didn't ask questions, right? I didn't find out what the situation was because I'm too focused on who? Me. Right? Find out how you can add value. What's the situation, right? Relationships plus value over time. Whoever adds more value wins. Because I don't know if you guys notice, we all use the same photographers. We all put it in MLS, which actually sells it. How many people posted over the last year, we sold $30,000 above the asking price? Are you posting now? I had to lower it 6 times to sell it. Wait, let's get this straight. You were responsible for one, but not the other? You know what the real truth is? Neither one of them had anything to do with you. You can get whatever you want in life if you help enough other people get what they want.
That's right.
Focus on what's true for them. What are they trying to accomplish? Why is it important to them? The main reason you want to sell the home is you want to move to Texas. I guess I'm curious. Let's say if you actually get the home sold and you move to Texas, what is that going to do for you and your family? How would your guys' life improve in some way? Now imagine I'm speaking that way and everybody else is like, are you familiar with the techniques that I use? Who are they going to talk to? No, it's just focus and intention. You got to role play constantly and consistently. Okay? How can you possibly get good at something that you don't practice all the time? Is that not immature? It's actually ridiculous. Can you imagine you walked into the physician, the surgeon, and they're like, yeah, I'm just going to wing this shit. You show up unprepared, late, dressed in flip-flops and yoga pants, and you're like, yeah, pay me $20,000. What are you doing? Do you realize that there's 20,000 agents in the multiple listing service? There's only 100 of them that do over 20 million in volume a year. You have 100 people competing for 20,000 jobs. If that's what's true, which it is, what would your practice schedule look like if you actually wanted one of those jobs? You tell me how much money you want to make a year. If I follow you around and look at your practice schedule, do they match? Usually not. Just make, you notice energy in the room? Boo. And there's no security in this business. There's only opportunities. Do you guys get like minimum wage if you don't make any money in sales? I'm just checking because you guys act like it all the time, right? So there's no security, there's only opportunities. But if I can get my skills to such a degree that if there's an opportunity, there's an 80 to 90% chance I'm going to capitalize on that opportunity, I've just created security for myself and my family. I never want to have to look at my wife and be like, you know what, we can't take that trip to Europe because daddy didn't know how to answer the question, what's your commission? So I feel like it's my duty and obligation. And as a marketplace becomes more challenging, I have to skill up. If I'm hallucinating that just because I'm me, I'm going to do more when volume's down 30%, is that an accurate assessment of reality?
No.
No. Hey, just like for everybody to be clear, nobody's coming to save you. Wouldn't it be dope if there was like a whole like group of people on horses like, I'm coming to save Eric. Nobody's coming. And then this last point I want to really push home. We all want 1% outcomes. We all want to list 100 homes a year. We want to be physically fit. We want financial freedom and independence. That's a 1% outcome. But we drastically underestimate the volume of activity that's required over an extended period of time to get the 1% outcome. So I role played twice a day, 6 days a week for 3 years. I would record prospecting calls and type them out. And now I can sit in a room with 200 people and role play with them like this. Can you do that? If I was to call people out at random and be like, hey, what's your commission? Can you answer it with conviction? And you need practice in high volume, right? That's why you need to practice every single day. How can you possibly get good if you're not doing it every day? And you need feedback, real feedback, right? If you see people that are world class at something, a buddy of mine, he went to Juilliard, right, for vocals. I watched a video with him and a master vocal coach. He would go, the coach would be like, stop. Take time. Your tongue is in the back of your mouth. You're not projecting your voice. Do it again. Still doing it. Still doing it. 5 minutes. Stop, start, stop, start, stop. But then when he got it, I heard the difference. I need really high feedback. We have a role play group, guarantees your role play partner 5 days a week. All you have to do is show up. We handle all the scheduling. If you don't show up 3 times, we kick you out. We don't give you your money back. Because the strength of the group is based on the consistency of its members. Make sense? How many people could use that? How many of you guys in this room role play 5 days a week? Hands up. Everybody else is independently wealthy. If you want to get paid like a professional, you need to practice like one. Amateurs practice until they can get it right. Professionals practice until they don't get it wrong. I'm curious, do opportunities just come up like this? Like somebody calls you like, yeah, I have $1 million listing, think about selling. I have to be prepared for that at all times. All the time. Because it's an opportunity, it shows up, and if you can't take advantage of it, it disappears.
Is your strategy appropriate to staying with this number of transactions for the next decade?
I see agents utilizing a strategy they were using 2 years ago in a completely different environment and wondering why they're not getting the same results. At 26 years old, make $150,000 thinking I'm the man, and then that strategy disappears. With the right strategy and knowing where to look, you could dominate any marketplace, including this one. Is your strategy appropriate to staying with this number of transactions for the next decade? How do I know that this is true, the way the sky is blue and the grass is green? Well, I first started selling real estate in 2006. Now that was a very specific economic and therefore real estate environment.